Thanksgiving and you had a very good meal for your Thanksgiving dinner. So let's continue on our Python class. And last week we learned the string. So we spend a lot of time talking about the methods that a string has. And I give you the homework. And let's just to review the homework to help us remember what we learned last week. I wanted to ask Hunt. So can you present your homework and explain to the class how you do that?
Do you mean me?
Yeah, Hunter. I will have 3 students to present. So you are the first one, Hunter. Are you ready, Hunter? Okay, good. Can you speak loud and explain what you did?
So, I had to have a number,
Mm-hmm.
but it ended up having, well, I wanted it to be a 6-digit number, so I had to have it 99,999 between that and 1 million. So
Mm-hmm.
I generated a random number between those numbers, and then I printed X, which down here.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Oh shoot. I got
Take your
one.
time.
I
Mm-hmm.
got one. Well, yeah, 147,787.
Mm-hmm.
So, so I imported a random number, and I got that number. Then I wanted to turn that number into a string so I could get each character by itself. So I did Y is the string of X right here,
Mm-hmm.
and then Z equals the integer value, uh, integer value, sorry, integer of the index value of Y, 0, integer value plus integer value of Y, 1, integer value Y2, and all the way to integer value of Y5 because it had 6 digits.
Yeah. So that's really wonderful, Hunter. When I get your homework, I feel so happy. I think you made my day. You did exactly what I expected because you used all the skills we have learned so far in our class. So you use the random, so you can generate a number. That number, you make it 6 digits, and that's great. And also you know how to convert a number to a string because you really wanted to use every character. So that's why you needed to convert it to a string so you can use the index value to get the individual characters. So you did that. And then you converted it back. Once you get the character, you converted it back to a number. then you add them together. So it's really good. You're very smart. I'm very happy. Thank you. Great work. All right. So the next one, I do not see the name in the participants list, but let me show you what I want. Okay, so that's the name I see in the classroom. So um, can you tell me who you are? I want to ask Nuna.
That's
Nuna,
me.
that's you. Okay, go ahead. I really want you to present because you did a wonderful job. Can you explain it? Yeah, go ahead, April.
So I did this with help from my cousin and my uncle to find the answer with a loop. So first we had to define the variable x, and I gave it this number. Then we had to put it into a string, so I made it this. Then this is the length. I had to use this in the loop later. Then I had to find these two, which is going to be 0. And then this is the start of the loop. So while the position is equal to 0, it has to be less than the length. And then we have to find the total. And this is where you convert it back into an integer, the total. And in order to complete the loop, so every time it goes around the position, you need to add 1. Yep. And then we print the first total where it adds up all of these numbers. And then that's what I got.
That's very good, April. You know, this is very smart. Actually, you know, you also use very advanced skills. And I have not taught those in my class. You told me that you get help, but that's fine because once you get the help, it helps you understand how to write Python code. And you explained it very good. And that makes me very happy because you know what the code does. And you open yourself. You want to get help. You get the help and you understand it. And then you can explain them. And that's really good. So that's why I also, you know, like this submission. And you did a wonderful job. Thank you very much, April. Keep the good work. All right, let me go to the next one. Is Adrian? Is Adrian here? Let me show you who I want, okay? So let me just share my screen as this student, Adrian. And I want you to present it. So let me stop sharing. Oh, idiot. Okay, good. Go ahead. I'm sorry. So, you know, I cannot get, you know, connected your name to that account in classroom. Go ahead, idiot. Go ahead.
So here's mine, and I gave it a random number, and I just kind of told it to add like 7 plus 3 equals 10 and so on, and then I used a loop, so it did it over and over and over again until it got to 56.
That's good. You see that the loop you used, Idiot, is different from what April used. And in the future, when we learn the loop, you see there are different ways to do it. And that's also the beauty of programming. So when you learn the more and more skills, you will find that there are many ways to solve the same problem. And some are very good. Some may take a little bit more time, but there are many ways to do it. And obviously, let me put it this way, your loop is more efficient than the one that April put it there. And you can also see that you use less code, right?
Yeah, it's
you have fewer code than what April did, but I do not mean that what April did is not as good as yours, but you see there are differences there. And then you see if you have less code, then you make your file smaller, and you use a smaller file to get the same thing done. That's very good. I hope the whole class can learn from these homework submissions. If you want, if you do not mind, I really wanted to ask Hunter, April, and Elliot, put your source code, okay, your solution in the classroom. Do not submit like a homework submission, but let me show you what I want you to do.
Do you mean post our?
Yeah, post it. Yes, post it here. Just post it. You see, solution from April, solution from Hunter. Just put it there. Like I say, April solution, right? Something like that. Then put your code in it. I really want you to put your code there so the classroom can see it. And then you three did a very good. Of course, we have other students who did a very good, but in my class, I usually do it this way. The first student who submit homework with a perfect score, I will ask that student to share his homework or her homework. And then when I review more homeworks, I say there's a very good solution. It's different from the first one. Then I will ask that student to share because I think that provide more information to the class. So if I see like 4 or 5 different solutions, I may not have that much time, but I will let at least 4 or 3 students to share. But it must be different. The solution must be different. So if 2 students or multiple students have the same solution, I will pick up the one who submitted earlier to present, because doing the homework, present the homework, will help us learn as well. Let me, okay, I do not see a solution like this, but let's do it together. Before I do my solution, I wanted to ask if you have any question to the homework. And I do see that some students feel confused, but can you tell me which part you do not get it?
the loop.
Yeah, if you do not get the loop, that's fine, because I have not taught loop yet. I have not taught the loop yet. But about the requirements, do you know what I'm asking you to do? Do you have that? Requirements wise, we all are good, right? All right, so if you do not have more question, so let's do it together using another solution, okay? So let me share my screen. All right, so let's just pretend x equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and I said the number could be 6 digits, and it could be 7 digits, could be 10 digits, right? But no more than 10 digits. Let's just pretend it. Okay, so can we say y equal to string x, right? So we convert the number to a string. All right, because I really do not know what number I expect, how many digits it will have. Can I just do this? Now can I say z equal to y, z field? Do you remember what is z field? Can I do this? Yes, Hunter.
Is there number?
Yeah, when we do Z field, actually I put extra zeros.
Yeah, but Z fills on the left, right? So
Yeah,
can you,
on the left. So I
so
make this string length be 10. So I know now, no matter what I got, eventually I will make it a 10 digit string. So I have 10 digits now. Okay, after that, what I need to do is just do what Hunt did. Okay, I will say now, okay, so what I'm going to do, I will make x equal to int z 0, all right, plus int z 1. I will keep doing this up to z10. So let me just do that, okay? So let me just do this. Let me do it quick. Not z, now 2, okay? Doing enter. I want you all do it with me together, okay? Z3, all right? So I just do this, enter Z4, right? Keep doing until I get a Z9. Once I get Z9, it means I have 10 digits, right? Keep doing, enter. We do not have, let me see if I can get a copy so it will be easier for us. Let me see if I copy. Okay, now can I say, can I put it here? Paste. Okay, 5, then let me change this. 6, all right, 7, 8, and then what? Okay, Z9. All right, if you wanted to find out what is Z, so let me print out a Z here. Print out a Z. All right, now I print out X again. See what is the new value for X. So let me do this. So you will get the Z field, you see what is Z. And then you will add them together and get the sum of all the digits, right? So now let me run the whole thing. You see, this is what a Z field gives to me, okay? So I get 10 digits. Because I really do not want to mess up with the length of the number I will get. So that's why I use Z field to make it a 10. So now I print it out. So all the skills we used here are the skills we learned in our class, right? The total is 28. All right, so Hunter, you have a question?
can you show us how to do it with the loop?
Can you speak loud?
Can you show us how to do it with the loop?
To show you how to do it with a loop, right? And the loop, I can tell you the one idiot uses is the most efficient one. Okay, let me just pretend what I'm doing using loop. Okay, all right. So let me just do it here because I have not changed the y, right? Y has that number. All right, so let me just do a loop. I use the 4, okay? I give it a name called main number. In y, because y is a string. So every character in y, you will use main number to represent it. You may not understand this at this moment. That is fine. We will learn it, okay? So I will say, okay, give me all the characters in this string y. And then you give to me what I'm going to do, okay? So let me create a variable where we use my sum equal to 0, okay? So now what I'm going to do is that my sum equal to, I should not use equal to, I use a plus equal to, okay, int my number. All right. So now what I just need to do, I just print out my sum. So what does this do? This loop will take each every one from the string, each every character from the string. Then it converted to a number. Then you add it to my sum. And now you print out my sum. So let's do this, see if we get 28 as well. So let's just run it. You see you get 28 here, and you also get 28 here, all right? Does it make sense to you? Do you see that Python can help us solve some trick problems, right? Any question? All right, if you do not have question, let's move on. So let's do some review questions, okay? So here. So can anyone answer this question? So what do you get with this? Can anyone volunteer to answer?
I think I know what it is.
Yes, Kathleen. I didn't get what you said, I'm sorry.
SPE.
Yeah, SPE, that's right. Because you say this is a slash, right? You slash the string. If you do not put the value on the left-hand side, means it starts from 0. That means S, and then it ends at 3, but the 3 is exclusive. Okay, 3 is this one. It's the fourth character, but it's exclusive, so that's why you get a SPE. All right, so how about this one? We just did a Z field, right? So who can help me? Anyone? Okay, I see 2 students volunteered, but do I get another student to volunteer? Okay, Perton.
Is it 000102?
That's right. You are good. All right. Very good on it. So let's move on. You are doing well. All right. So let's say when we use this, okay? And when we use that, so you say, can we try to do this? And you can, okay, let me give you this. Can you guys type in this in your Colab? And then do this line of code and run it, see what you will get. So let me give you this code here. And you can type in this code as well. Okay, type in this code in the column, like what I'm doing here, okay? So let me just remove all the previous code here. I don't need it anymore. So let me just put it here. Yes. All right. Okay, that's not allow me. So let me just do this. A equal to speed car, right? All right. Can I do A to equal to P? Can I do this? So let me run it. I want you all to do this. And do you get a result like this? So what does this mean? When you put a A2, that means it's the third character. Is this one? You want to assign it to a new value, P. But Python does not like it. Python says, no, 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 that's not what you need to do. You should do. Why? I mentioned the other day, it says string is immutable. You cannot change it. You cannot change your string, okay? Once you created it, you cannot change it. And you will ask me, okay, you will ask me, so when I do this, can I say A equal to race car? So let me just print out what is A. Let me run it. You see it works, right? And you just told me that you cannot change a string, but you see, I changed it. A was speed car. A is race car now. Why? I will say this, okay, Hunter. Yes, go ahead.
You didn't change the value of A, you just made another string.
That's exactly right. Because when you do this, you actually create a new string and you assign the new string to A. You send the new string to A. But if you see A string is A is a string speed car, and if you want to use A2, that means you want to change partial of the string, okay, to another character or another substring. No, 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 you cannot. It's immutable. So once it is created, you cannot change it. So hopefully you have this concept in your mind now. A string, it's once it's created, it cannot be changed. Okay, it cannot be changed. And if you change it, you will get a problem. Okay, so try this. I think I gave you this before, and you tell me what will be printed out. So let me give you this code.
I think I know what it will print.
Okay, you got an error, right? So yeah, cut it in.
Speed car speed car capitalized and speed car lowercase.
That's right, good. So you say this, actually you get a new string. That's all capital speed car. But the original variable A still hold the old string value. So you mean the string methods? We will talk about what is a methods. Okay, methods is actually a very advanced topic. If you do not understand, it's okay. Just think it. This is one of the methods upper. Okay, so you say it does not change the original string. It just creates a new string. Okay, it just creates a new string. The original string is not changed. So we need to remember this. That will stay in our brain. In Python, when a string is created, you cannot change it because it's immutable. It's immutable, right? All right, now let's do something new. String formatting. So I just put several lines here, and when you read it, it may not make sense to you at all. What does it mean? Right? Why you teach me those? But then let's just go forward and learn from these examples. And then we will come back to learn this one, okay? So let's go to the example first. Can you all use this name equal to John, age equal to 23, and then I print out this, okay? And after you print it out, then let's come back to explain it, okay? So let me give you this code. Let me give you the code here. All right, so let's do collab. It just does not allow me to paste. All right, it really does not allow me to paste it. So let me just use Python to do this, okay? Make it easy. All right, you see what I printed out here. It prints out John is 23 years old. And you see name is John, age is 23. And when I use print, you see what I do. I do this one, right? And this is the whole thing I printed out. And you see I have the percentile S, percentile D. And then I have the percentile here, and I have the name and the age. So what does it mean? All right, now I want to go back to the previous slide. So you see I have the percentile S and the percentile D. Okay, let me come back. What does percentile S mean? Okay, percentile S, it's in the placeholder. It represents a string will be put it here in this location. And then percentile D, what does it mean? Integers will be put it here. It will be an integer number. It will be put it here. Okay, so now I go to this line of code. I print out this string. I wanted to print out this string, but in my string, I have the percentile S and the percentile D. So how do I know what is percentile S? Obviously, I only know this will be a string. I only know this will be a number, but I really do not know what it is. So you see this comes to play with this percentile. You see this percentile is right after this double quotes. So it comes with the string, and then you use the percentile. You use name here and the age here. That means you use the value of the name and put it into this position, and use the value of age and put it into this position. So that is why when you do the print out John is 23 years old. Why do we do this? Okay, you just saw we use a loop to do something, right? So you imagine if I have a class and I have 30 students in my class, I need to write a letter to every student. And the letter is just an announcement. And I say the class will be closed tomorrow. So the content are the same, okay? But the individual student's name are different. So I can put in a percent or S there. And then, you know, I can get the name one by one. If I do it this way, I can get the name one by one, and this will be printed out. And why do I use it this way? Because this is the formatting. You can formatting the output. So you formatting the prints out. So that's why you see the prints out John All right. So now let me go back to the previous slide. You see what does the percentile F mean? What does percentile? Then you get the period, and then get a number of digits F mean. Okay. And then when you see the percentile a lowercase and the percentile and uppercase X, what does it mean? Right. So these are just a placeholder. It represents a data type, a string, a number, a floating number, okay, will be put in that location. So I hope I make this clear to you all. If you have question, can you put your question in the chat window, or you can raise your hand so I know that you have a question. So it makes sense to you, right? Just remember, this will be the things we use a lot, percentile S and percentile D. Okay, pattern.
What's hex representation?
Okay. You know, I do not do it much here in Python at this level. Hex representation, you see, when we learn computer, you know, all the data in computer actually are binary. And the numbers we use is decimal, right? Hex is another way to represent the data. Okay. So it's 16 digits. So it may have A, B, C, D in your number. And then that's a very advanced topic and very complicated. So usually I do not talk about that in my Python class to the students who are in elementary school. But if you come to my Java class, we will spend a lot of time to talk about it. Okay, what is a binary? How can you convert a binary data to a decimal number, something like that. Okay, so hex will be another way to record the numbers. All right, so let's move on. So this is another formatted output. You see what we got. You just use print. And this is the string you are trying to print. Okay, this is the string you are print. But you see the format, you use the format here. And then you see format. You say group equal to gang. Adjective equal to absolutely bad. And what you printed out will be this gang is absolutely bad. You see, this is the string you're going to print out just this much. Okay, this is the string. But in here, in the string, you have the curly bracket. Okay, this curly bracket, you have the group here. This curly bracket, you have the adjective here. You just think about this as a variable. Okay, you have a variable group here, have a variable called adjective here, and then in the format, and you give the value to this variable, and you give that value to this variable. So the variable will be replaced with the value when it is printed out. This is also useful, like what the example I mentioned. If a bank wants to write something to its customer, and the customer name will be different, the address may be different, right? So you just use that. So let me give you the code and you run it, see what you get. Then let me give it to you. And let me run it on my computer here. Okay, you see what is printed out is that this scan is absolutely bad. And that's a print out statement. Okay, so if you have the code in Colab, and can you just go ahead and then make some changes? So let me just do text, see if I can. I don't know why.
Wow.
Yeah, I cannot. I just cannot copy my code here. So if you guys type in, can you just go ahead and change it to something else? Just play with that, see if it works. So what I meant here is that, let me check my chat window, see what I got. Yeah, I don't know why I cannot copy and paste it. I used to be able to, so that's strange. So I cannot paste my code. So if you can, yeah, if you can you guys just do this? So change this to this store, okay, is wonderful. See what will be printed out, okay? Just make some changes so you learn how to use it. You say just this store is wonderful. Right, so just play with that. All right, so let's move on to the next topic then. So I have more strings for you to learn.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Last one. You have to type an adjective, or can it be any word?
Okay, let me explain it. That's a very good question, actually. Okay, I use adjective here, right? And I use group here. Can you? This is just a variable name. You give it to it. You can change it to anything else. So let me just do that. So let me just change it. So I will say this group, I will not use group. So I will use something. I will pretend I use something here. And then now I make something equal to store. Okay. So I will use something equal to store. And it will still work. So let me come here and I hit enter. This store is wonderful. So accordingly, and you can change adjective to something else. Right? Yes, pattern.
Why do we have to do that when we can just do print parentheses and write out the stores wonderful under quotation marks?
That's also a very good question. If if you just do this one and you see this is really not necessary. But when I've explained it, so if you are a bank or if you are a school, you wanted to send a mail, a letter to the customer or the students or the parents, the content are almost the same. The change is just the name of the students or the name of the customer and the address of the customer. So that's why you want to make those, okay, a variable. This string can be very long. And then you run a loop. Every time you just need to give something a new value, give adjective a new value. Let's say the adjective is an address, something is the user is the customer name. So you can print like 100,000 letters using it. Because the only thing you need to change is the name and address. You save a lot of text, or let's say a lot of scripts in your code. All right, so that's all for string. So now let's just spend some time to start learn a new data type. And this is a complicated data type, or we see a data structure. It's the browser, big browser of string. It's called a list, okay? So can I get a lecture? Can you read this that for the class? Read these two paragraphs.
Okay. After learning the simple data types, we now get into more advanced types. List is the first candidate of this series. The list is most versatile.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, data type available in Python, which can be written as a list of comma-separated values or items between square brackets. Items in a list need not to be of the same type.
Good. Thank you, Alexa. Very good. You say, what is the list? I will say the list is a very loose, right? Concept. But what is a list in Python? You just put different items in the bracket, square bracket. Okay. That's why we say it is a comma separated values in the square bracket. You just do that. You create a list. We create a string using a single quote or double quotes. Whatever put it in, make it a string. For a list, you just use a square bracket, then you put whatever you wanted to put in it. You see, in this list, we have string, the number. So that's why we say it is not being of the same type. Okay? So let me give you this code so you can have a list. And this is our first list. And you remember last week when we learned string, and I told you that this method that can convert a string to a list. Do you still remember it? Yes, Catherine. In it's exactly in other languages. It is called area, but it's in Java. If you talk about area, it must be of the same type. And the array is not dynamic in Java. That means if you create an array, just like you create a string, you cannot change its size. You cannot change its size. Okay. So a list is more loose. Okay, more dynamic. You can change it. Okay, and you can add new stuff to it. It does not have to be of the same kind of data type. All right. So let me just try this. See if I can paste it here. I don't know. This really give me trouble now. I cannot paste my code. Strange. Okay, anyway, let me just do it here. So this is my list. Okay, I have a list. Now let's move on. So why I call list is a browser of string? Because you see, okay, you can use the index value as well. So if you use index value and you get the item out. So let me just do this. So A1, you see what I got? It's X. That's the second item in the list. Okay. And can I use A minus 1? Because index value can be negative. In string, minus 1 is the last item, last character in the string. See if we can get the last item in the list. If I hit enter, I get a 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Okay. So you see the index stays in for a list. Actually, index stays for a lot of other data structures, okay? Not just a string. So if you load the string, it's easier for you to understand the list, okay? So let's move on to the next page then. So we said that a list does not have to be of the same data type. And also you see it is possible to nest lists. You create a list containing other lists. For example, this is a list, right? You have 2 items in it. And the P here is also a list. Okay? So let me give you this 2 list. Then I will ask you the following questions. And I want to get your help. After that, we will call it a day for today. Yes, you can put anything in your list and you can add it and you can change it, you can remove it. We will learn them one by one, okay? So let me give you that. So let me also put it here. So I have a list called Q, now I have a list called P. All right? So let me ask you, when I say name is P, what do you get? Can you tell me? Catherine.
3.
3. But you see, Q has 2 items. And the P already has 3 items in it, but you see Q has 2 items in it. Why the length of P is 3? Why? Because Q is considered just one item in list P. So that's why the length of P is 3. Even the Q itself is a list, it has other items in it. But in list P, Q itself is just one item. This item is a list, right? All right, so can you tell me what is P1? What is P1? Okay, Hunter.
P1 is Q.
P1 is Q, right? That's good. Yes, because it's the second item in the list P. All right, so can you tell me what is this one? And can you explain to me? P10, what is that? What do you get? What is that, P10? Let me call someone, okay, this time. And I have not asked Ruan to answer question today. So Ruan, can you tell me what is P10? Ruan. So let me type in, okay?
I'm putting it in and it's not doing anything. Oh. It says error.
It's error. Okay, so let me share my screen. Let me do it. So this is my,
Would it be,
okay, say P10.
would it be Q1?
Yes, pattern.
I was gonna say the answer was 2.
Yeah, so why it is 2? Can you explain?
Because P is in the second spot. So that'd be 2.
So exactly. So let's first consider P1. P1, what you get is Q. Q0 is the first one of Q. That's 2. So that's why you got 2. Okay. We call this a multi-dimensional list. Okay. So you have 2 dimensions. That's it. Hard. It is hard, but just think about P1, you get a Q. Q0, you get 2. Just think about it that way. So you get the answer is 2, and that's the right answer. All right, so that's all I have for today. And I do not have homework for you. I really wish you guys have a good break. And I want April, Elliot, and Hunt host your homework in the classroom. And I really want the students to get the code and review it and try it in your own computer and give it different numbers and see if it gets the right answer for you. All right. Any question?
No homework?
No homework this week. If you want homework, of course, I can give you the homework. I have a lot of homeworks. Let me show you, okay? I have a lot of quizzes coming up. Small quizzes, you see here, quizzes, and I can make them, some of them homework for you guys. So do you guys want homework? Raise your hand, then I can just give you one. No? All right. Okay. All right, then you got it. No homework. So good. To keep practicing. I want you to practice the homework submission that Hunter, Idiot, and April submitted. And just, read those homework submissions and try it on your computer. They are very good. They are very, very good. All right. All right. So let me return the class back to Miss Key.
Thank you, Dr. Yan. So everything is good. So we still have a few classes left. So make sure that you come to class on time. If you cannot come to the class, have your parents just send me a note and I will send the class recording to you. Okay, thank you very much. Bye everyone. See you next week.